found myself more and more attracted to jewelry campaigns. I love how they find a way to balance the model wearing the pieces with the actual star of the shoot, that is the jewelry. Mario Testino once said, "Jewelry isn't just an accessory, it's an attitude. It speaks about confidence, elegance, and allure without a word." I like that. I was looking through my work, and although I've done a bunch of beauty work and campaigns in the beauty space, I've never done a proper jewelry campaign. And I'm a firm believer that no one hires you to do something they've never seen you do. And I mean, obviously there are some exceptions to that rule, but that's just something I've found to be true, or it's proven itself over the life of my career. Which leads me to the objective. I want to shoot a mock jewelry campaign that does what Irving Penn once said draws the eye to the essence of her beauty. While the model matters, I wanted to photograph in a way that makes her identity fade to the background and become a canvas to the jewelry. I wanted you to see her, but who she was could be any beautiful woman you had ever seen, and therefore you could see the jewelry being adorned by anyone you loved or admired. The model for the shoot was Destiny. She's a beautiful young lady that I had the pleasure of working with on a campaign once before, and she was gracious enough to lend her talents for this project. Now, the jewelry is easily one of the reasons this production hadn't happened earlier in my career. I mean, how was I going to get it? But that can be attributed to the lack of creativity in the moment. Because once I thought about it, I hopped on Amazon and got to purchasing. Once I typed in a few words, I found a treasure trove of jewelry. I won't say it's like the most expensive jewelry, but jewelry. But the goal was to make cheap jewelry look not cheap. I'll let you be the judge of my success in that mission. I didn't get a great shot of the lighting setup, so I made this diagram. This basically illustrates what's going on. This is my camera position. These white boards here are V-flats. This is my light. And essentially, the light bounced off of that back wall, right? And then once it bounced back, it returned and hit these V-flats. And the V-flats essentially illuminated the model from behind. So when you kind of go in there, you'll see this is the camera angle. The light wasn't overly complicated, but I mean, it gets the point across, which is essentially what I was trying to do. Just trying to give you a different angle as to how to see the light. It's really not that difficult. The reason why you point the light backwards and let it bounce forward is because, for one, I wanted her to be backlit. And what I mean by backlit is, like, she is obviously turned away from the camera, but the light is primarily shooting in front of her, and whatever makes it back to the V-flats is what actually ends up lighting her up. And I wanted that glow of light to come from one side, and then I wanted the actual return to be the thing that highlighted her. The other reason why it was valuable to take this approach is because, as you could imagine, the jewelry has all these different types of reflections, and using the V-flats allows those reflections to be filled with white, so you can make the jewelry look more beautiful and have less distractions of various reflections in my studio showing up in the jewelry. And you can see an example of what I'm talking about in these two images. Neither a retouch, so don't be too hard on me, but you can see in the image on the left what happens when the V-flat's not filling in all of those reflections on the earring, whereas with the image on the right, that's not retouched, it's just the V-flats being placed in such a way that all the reflections from the earring get filled up with the foam core so that you can make it feel like it's that flat surface, as opposed to it catching all of those random objects that are in my studio in the reflection. Overall, I feel that this first shoot was successful, but I've got several more mock jewelry campaigns in the pipeline. Let me know your thoughts. Feel free to hit me with any questions in the comments. That's it. Peace.